Episode 3, we are back down with Flint Town Podcast. Randall W. Scott III with Ray Ascensio, Ray Dog in the house. Ray, I'm gonna throw you off a little bit here. Just tell me about that big win for the Michigan Wolverines this weekend. I know you're all about it, and you should be. Big win.
I was on an emotional high yesterday, man. I knew we could beat them. I didn't think we would beat them like that. But I knew we were a better team, and I knew we could beat them. It was good to see JJ get some confidence throwing the ball, because he had been struggling throwing the ball downfield for a good 6 or 7 games now. But more of a sigh of relief, probably than happy, joy, woohoo, because there's still we still have business ahead of us. But I'm gonna give credit, man, where credit's due. I really like that Eichhorn, that linebacker for Ohio State. That's my kind of football player. I like him, so I'm gonna give him his credit. But on to next week, man. We got Mr. Ufinger's alma mater, Purdue. I'm not gonna talk no smack about Purdue, but that's why they play the games, man. On paper, it looks like, oh yeah, Michigan's gonna roll them. Doesn't work that way, man. We got to prepare for Purdue, and because they're not going to be far from home. They're not going to be far from Lafayette, Indiana, right there at Lucas Oil Stadium. So we have to prepare for them. We have to take them serious, and we can't have another Illinois scare.
Right.
We can't have that against Purdue. We have business to attend, but sigh of relief. I'm happy for my kids, and now we move on.
Cool, man. And, it looks like they're going to be in that college football playoff, which is awesome. And by the way, we got a little twist on the college football playoff we're going to run at you. We'll bring it up next episode. But you guys might like this. We're gonna start some brackets of our own for some things. And it should be pretty interesting. But, all right, let's get to it, man. First of all, can't do this without the people who watch us. Ray, just give us a rundown, people who commented, people who were watching us.
We had some nice responses, man. I got one from one of my neighborhood buddies, Justin Baldwin. He had a couple nice things to say. One of my what do you call eye people that when you go get glasses?
Optometrist.
Optometrist. Thank you.
Samurai optometrist.
My buddy Greg. I've known him for a long time. I can't pronounce his last name.
Yeah.
Ahaju.
Greg.
Yeah.
All right.
Greg Ahaju. He had some nice things to say. And Pastor Sean Bivens, who loves you to death, man. He had a lot of nice things to say.
That's awesome.
And then on our YouTube section here, we had the Miller boys, like always, man.
Yeah, Miller's in the house.
Super supportive, man. Marcellus and George, your classmate George
Boogie.
Miller has something to say. Who else we have on here? Go Blue 97. Jeremy Poplick.
Oh, that's Jeremy Poplick?
Jeremy Poplick, yeah.
Oh,
Go Blue
Sobe
97. Yep. JP. And then we got, what the hell? HD Doughboy?
HD Doughboy. We don't know who that is, or do we?
That might be Kevin Milhot.
Okay.
I'm thinking, because he said thanks for the shout out.
Okay, probably.
And the way he worded this, I'm thinking it was Kevin Milhot. And that was it as far as the comments. Now, George Miller brought up, Marcellus with the music thing, Dayton family for D.
Oh, how we not get the Dayton?
I don't know how we didn't say
I
Dayton
I
family.
did drop MC Breed, but you got to throw the Dayton family in with that,
How do
right?
I say the Doors before the Dayton family?
When you're in the moment, because honest to God, we don't write these things down. We just kind of come off our heads with it. And we do that so you guys can hit us with stuff that should have been obvious.
And one more, man. The 5 Rays.
Yeah.
I didn't even say Ray Lewis.
Ray Lewis.
George pointed that out.
Ray Lewis, man.
Didn't mention Ray Lewis, man. So that's our shout-outs for the week, man. We appreciate all of those. Keep them coming.
All right, man. Well, thank you guys all for watching again. Millers, Poplix, all you guys, man. Keep it coming. We love it. If you got any ideas for topics, whatever, let us know.
Keep it coming. Who sang that song?
Keep it coming. Uh-oh. You got to hit me with that.
Come on. What?
I don't know, but keep it coming.
Keep it coming. Girl, I want it.
It's a high five jam? I don't know.
Turn me on to all your kissing and love. Oh, my God.
I should know that.
You don't know nothing about Keith Sweat, do you?
Oh, Keith Sweat. Well, I know about.
You don't know about that Keith Sweat.
I know a lot about that Keith Sweat, just not that one. I'm more of a nobody guy. That late 90s stuff. All right, man. Okay, we got to start. I don't know how we got 3 episodes in without doing our roll call for Flint Town athletes. And one of the best things I love to do in my life is when I'm watching a show with somebody, watching a sports game. I'm like, Flint Town, especially when I'm with my out of town friends or whatever, right? Just let them know, because it just seems like every game there's a Flint Town athlete on something, and I always try to shout that out to people. And I'm sure all you guys do that too, but we're just going to roll call some of our favorite Flint athletes, some of the ones we can think about, and hit them up. So Ray loves the old school guys, so I know he's got a bunch of good ones. Ray, who you got first?
Okay, before we get started,
sure.
we have to say this. It's impossible to name everybody.
Impossible.
Okay, because we're under time constraints here.
Yes.
So we got to let everybody know.
Yes.
Because I can already see, oh, you left him out. You left him out.
But we want that. We want you guys to hit us up, man. So I want you guys to add to this list, and we'll bring them up next week.
Normally, I don't put people on blast, and this is a friendly blast.
Yes, yeah, friendly
blast. But normally, I don't put people on blast, but I can already picture Sean Banks, my boy Sean Banks, man. He's a fellow Flint Central football player, graduated '89, played at Defiance College in Ohio.
Yep.
I can already see you left him out. He's going to name every single teammate that he played with. You left him out. What about him? I can already say Sean, my boy though. Sean, he knows I mean.
Hey Sean, if you don't do it, we're going to be disappointed. Give Ray some crap about what you're going to say, man. I'm telling you.
Okay.
All right, and okay, so go ahead. Give me your first one. Flint Town athlete roll call. Go.
Okay. First and foremost for me, this is near and dear to me, man.
Yes, sir.
I will never forget this for the rest of my life. It was December 2016, the day that I met Justice Thigpen Sr., Flint's first NBA player.
What?
Okay, Northern graduate from way back, way before our time.
Yep.
He was Flint's first NBA player. I met him at the Flint Hall of Fame in 2016 at the Genesis Athletic Club. It was an honor to meet him, and he was happy to get his picture taken with me, man. So I can't get this started without saying Justice Thigpen Sr., Flint's first NBA player.
Okay, and I'm going to start with some people, and that's a big one because we got a rich NBA history, right?
Of course.
But I'm going to start with somebody current who I just love to death. And I'm going on the female side.
Okay.
And I'm hitting you with Clarissa Shields, man. She's carrying the torch right now for Flint Town athletes, and I just love what she does. I love her whole attitude, her whole swag she's got going on, and just, those 2 gold medals. She's got about 20 championship belts. She's just steady knocking people out, and she brings that Flint Town attitude to every fight, and I love it. She reminds me of, and I know we shouldn't go too long on this, but she reminds me of like a female Tyson, right?
Yeah.
Because when she gets in there, man, she's got that eye, that, and people don't want to stand in the ring with that, man. They don't want to stand in the ring with someone who's trying to kill you, and she looks like that. Respect.
Man, Clarissa Shields, man, real quick. She is a Flint boxer that I'm actually a fan of because I'm not a fan of most Flint boxers.
Okay.
I ain't gonna say names but there's more that I'm not a fan of that I am a fan of. I'm a big fan of hers, fan of hers. Seen her at Target during Christmas time last year.
Nice.
Okay.
Nice.
My second one, this will be the last time that I tell like a little short story.
Yeah, sure.
The first 2 people I want to tell little short stories about.
Yep.
The second guy I'm gonna name, he's from our alma mater. He's a standard bearer of all sports. He was a basketball player. Eric Turner.
You know where you're going with this.
Let me say something real quick. At Central High School, whether you're a football player, a basketball player, a women's volleyball player, soccer player, baseball, wrestling, I don't care what the sport is. The standard is Eric Turner. You live up to Eric Turner's standards for every sport.
Yeah.
Okay? So I got to go with Eric Turner for number 2.
And that's somebody, like, when I think back, I'm like, I never saw him. Never got to see him play. And I can't believe that because I hear stories and everybody talks about him. And I wish I would have seen him play more.
And he was the MVP of the 81 high school McDonald's All-American game, okay?
Yeah.
A game that featured Michael Jordan. He's giving Michael Jordan business in that game.
That's what I'm talking about right there. Okay. That's what Flint Town does. All right.
Goddamn right.
I'm going to stay current, and I'm going to go with current NBA players. I'm just going to drop a couple on you, right? Because I love me watching some Monte Morris and some JaVale McGee. I don't even, you know what I mean? Flint Town, let's go, right? And we know Pam McGee, his mom, all that stuff. Yeah. She's a Flint Town legend too. But when I could turn on a game and see Flint Town right there, Kuzma's in that discussion too. So I'm sorry, I'm just dropping a lot of them right now. But I think about that.
We'll say both McGee sisters, Pamela, Paul.
Yes, absolutely. But that's what I'm going with now. Those Flint Town Hoopers right there, the current ones.
The McGees, man. That's basketball royalty in Flint, man.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
Okay. The next one I'm gonna go with. Once again, this is before my time. He was in high school before I was born. I know you're a big Michigan State Sparty.
Yeah.
Okay. To this day, this guy still holds the Michigan State single game scoring record with 50 points. Played for Bill Frieder at Northern High School in the early 70s. I'm going with Terry Furlow.
Terry Furlow,
God rest
baby.
him. God rest him. He was killed in a car accident. early in his NBA career with
Yeah.
6. He was killed in a car accident.
Yep.
But I'm going with Terry Furlow.
I remember
my next one.
we were walking the other day and you brought that name up, and I was like, man, Terry
legendary.
Furlow. Heck yeah, man.
Legendary, man. He used to elevate this high for a jump shot,
Yep.
man. Still holds a
Yep.
record, single game.
All right.
man.
All right. I'm going to drop a couple in a group again, just because in my head they're linked together, okay? Yeah. So I remember going to, and this is how spoiled we are with Flint Town athletes. I remember going to a high school football camp, right, at Atwood Stadium, and it was Mark Ingram, senior, right?
Senior.
Mark Ingram, and we're giving both their props today, I'm sure, but Mark Ingram, senior, Andre Rison, right? All in the house, and then like they're running this football camp, and they brought in not Flint Town, but they brought in Pepper Johnson, right? And people like it's just like what? I mean, we're at a football camp, and those are the guys running it, and it's like what? And they were current at the time; they were still playing, you know. And my favorite Andre Rison stat is I heard this the other day. The only receiver in the NFL to catch a touchdown pass from Brett Favre and Joe Montana.
Really?
Andre Rison.
Oh, my God.
Isn't that crazy?
Joe Montana?
Yeah, Joe
the
Chiefs with the Chiefs. That's
okay.
right. Represent.
Okay,
So,
that's
yep.
right.
So that's where we are with that. So cool, man. Go for it.
Okay, man. Since you mentioned the camp, there was another camp, might have been a couple years after that or during the same time. Now, my buddy Van Deloney, who I worked with at Next Tier, man, he was a quarterback at Beecher back in he graduated in 80, but two of his teammates, classmates, two of his best friends, Carl Banks and Lonnie Young.
Carl Banks.
And
baby.
Lonnie Young
Yes.
from Flint Beecher. That was
Yep.
my boy Van's. He was their quarterback when they was at Beecher.
Yep.
So I'm going to give it up for Carl Banks and Lonnie Young.
There you go. And I think Ingram and Banks were teammates on that Giants team.
On that Giants team, yeah.
The Super Bowl Giants team, right? Didn't
Yeah,
they win
86,
that? I
yeah.
think so, man.
Yeah.
That's crazy. That's just crazy to
Banks.
think about.
Banks was on that team.
Banks was on that team? Okay,
Yeah,
Ingram
Banks.
wasn't on that team yet?
Hey, Ingram and Banks. You said
Okay.
Lonnie Young.
Oh, I'm sorry.
Yeah.
No, that's what I meant. That's what I meant.
Yeah. Banks and
Yep.
Ingram. Yeah, two
I'm with you on
Flintstones
that.
on that team.
Okay,
Yeah.
cool. And then, of course, we got, Mark Ingram Jr. got that Heisman for us. That's pretty awesome, right? Okay, I'm gonna drop this Flint Central bomb on you because I gotta send a shout out to our boy Dre Weathers. Hitting it with the Giants, got that natty with the U of M, right? That's our guy right there. Andre Weathers for life. For life.
Okay.
All right.
Before I name my next one, I'm going to say one little thing about Ingram, just real quick.
Yeah.
Because I'm going to put all this to rest, and this is on film. People can see that when they want. I've heard people say about Junior, he's from Grand Blanc. He ain't from Flint, from Grand Blanc. When he won the Heisman, when he gave his presentation, he said Flint, Michigan.
Yes, he did.
He didn't say Grand Blanc. He said Flint. Okay,
And-
so I got to say that real quick.
Oh, go ahead. Keep going.
Now, the guy I'm going to name next was Terry Furlow's teammate at Flint Northern.
Okay.
When the year Indiana went undefeated in '76, the last undefeated college team, they blew out Michigan in the national title game.
Yeah.
But Wayman Britt was on that Michigan team, played with Terry Furlow at Northern. So I'm going to give it up for Wayman Britt.
Wayman Britt. Okay. All right. Cool. Another thing, we're going back to Ingram Jr. We keep going back to this, but
That's all right.
He also transferred from Grand Blanc back to Southwestern for his senior year.
Yeah.
So that's pretty cool too.
We
so.
seen him play at.
Yeah.
That was the day we went. Remember, we seen Central Southwestern.
Yeah.
We met Ufinger at Luigi's, and
Yep.
we was watching Ingram play.
Good
He was
times.
a good linebacker too.
Oh, I know, man. Can play, man. If you can play, you can play.
you
All right.
can play.
Now I'm going to go to some of those older school basketball guys, right? And you know what's crazy about Flint? You can still see some of these guys playing in gyms today, right? Like when I go, sometimes I played in this 50 and over league, right? And Jeff Grayer's out there. Andre Rises out. We already said Rises, but I'm gonna give it up for Jeff Grayer right now because he's still out there balling, and you can still see these Flint Town guys out there playing. It's crazy. It's crazy.
Iowa State's all-time leading scorer.
That's it right
He's
there.
still their all-time leading. He's their all-time leading scorer, and Monte Morris is their all-time assists and steals leader.
Yes, there you go.
Okay. I got to give it up for the late, great Roy Marble, class of 1985, Flint Beecher High School.
There you go.
Just got his record broken at Iowa for all-time leading scorer. He was their all-time leading scorer for a while. But I got to give it up for Roy Marble.
There you go, man. Roy Marble can't mess with that, man. All those Beecher guys, man. All those Beecher guys, just straight ballers. All right, anyways. Okay, now I got to hit you with, you got to hit, you can't do Flint Town athletes without hitting the Flintstones, right? Michigan State National Championship. All these guys pretty much all went to the pros or went to Europe, you know what I mean? But you know that list, right? You got Peterson, OP, you got Cleaves, you got Antonio Smith, you got Charlie Bell, you got you got that Flint Town crew, right? You got that Flint Town crew, and they held it together when this city was kind of going through some rough stuff, man. It was kind of cool to see those guys out there doing their thing.
I rooted for Florida.
I did not.
I know. But that's kind of like we're kind of like even now for that
Yeah.
Cubs and Central 93. Okay, I rooted for Florida. I ain't gonna lie to you. I rooted for Mike Miller and Donnell Harvey and Corey Brewer.
Bums. Well, they didn't know about Flint Town. They didn't know about
I
that.
know. All right. I had to do a little hating there. That's all right though.
All right, cool. Who you got next?
All right. The next one I got is another Flint Central guy.
Okay.
Played in the '92 Final Four against Michigan on his Cincinnati team. He played with Nick Van Exel.
Okay.
And Corey Blunt. I'm going with Anthony Buford.
Oh, Anthony Buford.
Anthony
Okay.
Buford. And look, he wasn't just on that team. He was getting buckets on that team against the Fab Five.
Getting buckets.
Anthony Buford. Of course, we know Ushimbra, his cousin Ushimbra Buford, my classmate, now known as Dr. Buford. But
Nice.
Yeah, I'm going with Anthony Buford for my next one.
Okay, cool. All right. I'm switching again, man. I'm going straight hockey on you, man. And I'm going to hit you with Tim Thomas. All right? Yeah, that's a Flint Town guy, right? I think he ended up playing in Davidson for a while, but he was Flint Town. He was East Side, I believe. So there you go. Tim Thomas, Stanley Cup champion. What? I mean, there you go. Calder champion. So,
University of Vermont.
there you go, Vermont. Because that's a powerhouse, right? Vermont.
Right there by Canusa Avenue.
Canusa Avenue, man. You don't know about that.
Okay. The next one I'm going to say is I'm going to do like you did, man. I'm going to do two at a time because they both was on the same team. In '89, we had two Flintstones when we won the national title in basketball. Obviously, we had Glenn Rice.
Yep.
But we also had Demetrius Caleb.
Okay.
Who was a baller in his own right. Backup point guard, backed up Ramil Robinson. So I'll go with Glenn Rice and Demetrius Caleb.
Yeah, I can't believe it took us that long to get to Glenn Rice, right? All right, cool. That's good. All right, I'm going hockey again. All right, Ken Morrow. Yes, the Miracle. Do you believe in Miracles team, right? Miracle on Ice. So I'm sticking with that for my next one.
I know on your way to work, you always see that sign of him that says,
yeah.
If you're coming off Lapeer Road, it says, "Welcome to Davis and the home of Ken Morrow."
Yep, absolutely.
Yep. Do you believe in miracles? That's a good one. Mm-hmm. Okay, let me see. The next one I'm gonna say is a guy who had the record for a long time, for like 35 or 40 years or something like that. I think Keith Appling broke his record.
Keith Appling.
I think. That's unofficial. I think Keith Appling broke his record, but for a long time, Mark Harris had the record. 44 points in a Class A state championship game.
Nice.
That was at the Chrysler Arena back when they was playing the title game at the Chrysler Arena. So I'm going to say Mark Harris.
Okay. All right, I'm going to drop one of the biggest names we haven't mentioned yet. Jim Abbott has to be dropped, right? Flint Central grad, Michigan, Pan Am games, threw a no-hitter for this dude threw a no-hitter for the Yankees.
For the
right?
Yankees.
For the Yankees. That's what I'm talking about, right? Jim Abbott, Flint Town.
Okay. Now, when we was talking about that great Northwestern team, obviously there's the obvious ones like Grayer, Risen, and Glenn Rice. Those are the obvious ones, okay? But we can't leave out Yankee Pendleton. Anthony Pendleton, man. He was a baller too.
There you go.
So I got to give a shout out to Yank.
Okay. All right. Let's see here. We got to go. I'll stick with baseball. Hit you with some old school Merv Retman right there, right?
Sobey?
Yeah, well, no, his brother was the athletic director, community school director at Sobey.
Wasn't there a Retman at Sobey?
Yeah, it was. That was Marvin. It was Merv and a Marvin.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, Marvin Retman was the one at Sobey School doing the. Hey, man, big shout out to Mr. Retman too for letting us in those gyms. He would come in on Saturdays to open up the gyms for us, and that's something else we could talk about
That's
later.
How you keep kids off the streets.
Seriously. Pretty awesome, man. Pretty awesome.
Okay. Let me see. My next one, this is old school again. This is before we were born. A lot of people, Mr. Vance, if he was here, he'd be able to back me up on this. Probably the best track runner in the history of Flint was a guy named Herb Washington.
Herb Washington.
Okay. The Oakland A's in the early 70s when they won the 3 World Series in a row.
Yes.
He played on that third team.
Yes.
As like a designated base stealer.
Yes.
But he won a World Series ring with the Oakland A's, Reggie Jackson and all them.
That's crazy.
Vita Blue, Raleigh Fingers, going Herb Washington.
A designated base stealer.
Yeah.
That's what I'm talking about. We need to bring more of those back.
Right.
That's what I'm saying. Okay, all right, I'm drawing a blank here. There's a baseball player for the Dodgers, Hamilton. What was his first name? Do you remember? Man, he's Flint Town, though, and I can't. This is killing me. Okay. All right, we're going to try to come back for that. Put us that in the comments if you can't remember. I can't count that because I can't remember the name. Man, I know it's Hamilton. Is it Greg Hamilton? Greg? No. All right, forget it. We're not going to stay here on that all day. I'll give you my next one. All right, Kansas City Chief, Grand Valley State University, Brandon Carr, baby. Let's go. Let's go.
That's a good one.
Yeah, those are two of my teams right there.
Okay. One of the most unappreciated players ever in Flint basketball history. You never hear his name enough, and that's unjust. He gets that Dr. J treatment.
Okay.
When you talk about the greatest NBA players of all time, his name don't come till later on, man. Craig Tucker.
Craig Tucker.
The cousin of Trent Tucker.
Okay.
The 1978 Flint Northern Vikings, one of the greatest teams of all time. They either went undefeated or they lost one game. I don't remember.
Okay.
But I'm going with Craig Tucker, 78 Northern Vikings.
Okay. All right. I love it, man. I love it. Okay. Let me see if I can get one more here because I'm starting to run out. I'm going to skip the other boxers. Let's go with I'm going to hit you with Marty Embry. What do you know about Marty Embry? There you go.
Know about DePaul University,
At DePaul, baby.
Know about DePaul. I think he played with Rod Strickland at DePaul.
Oh, don't you? Were they around the same squad?
Back in the early 80s, DePaul was a powerhouse.
I remember that, yes.
It was a powerhouse, man.
Yep, okay. All right, you got one more? You got a couple more?
Okay.
Give me a list. Just give me a list of anything you could think of next.
Well, okay. I mean, I can't think of like 100 names there, but another name that comes to mind, he played at Iowa State, Justice Thigpen Jr.
Okay.
He graduated with, I believe, Demetrius Caleb at Flint Northern.
Okay.
But he played at Northern, so Justice Thigpen Jr. Now, Judson Anderson was an honorable mention All-American at Flint Central, okay? Yeah. They don't just throw that moniker on people that don't deserve it.
No.
And he should have won Mr. Basketball over John Garvalia, but that's just my opinion. Mm-hmm. And the same year that he graduated, Northwestern had Marquise Johnson, who was also an honorable mention All-American. Mm-hmm. And Flint Northern at that time had Onaje McCune, who was a baller in the early 90s.
Yeah.
So that's a couple names that I can come up with. Is there any like weird sports we could come up with?
I'm trying to think here. I don't know, man.
Wait a minute,
I'm sure
man. We're
there
talking
is.
about boxing, man. I'm just going to give up for people that I like and shit.
Okay.
I don't care about none of them other guys. Timothy Littles, man, from like the late 80s or early 90s. Timothy Littles was a good boxer. Now, my cousin, the one I talked about on my tough guy list, Tino Marino, he had one pro heavyweight fight. He was 1-0.
He counts, man.
He was 1-0.
He's undefeated.
He had one pro fight. 1-0, one knockout.
He's undisputed.
Undisputed, man. Better Rocky Marciano.
There you go. There you go.
So that's about all I got for now.
All right, cool.
We can make this a to be continued.
Exactly.
This will be a to be continued.
And we'll continue this conversation. You could do this, and this is so great about our town, man, because seriously, you could talk about this all day. We stand up to any town in this country when it comes to great athletes. So if we miss somebody, glare, throw them in the comments. If you just want to throw them out there, you don't have to call us out hardcore on it, or you can if you want. But just, man, throw it in there. The people you remember, the people you watch, the people your parents talked about, that kind of thing, man. Hit us up with that because Flint is without a doubt one of the greatest sports cities ever.
One more, man. We got to say Jay and T. Green.
T. Green, Jay Green.
Jay was All-American in basketball and football. We got to say Jay and T. Green.
There you go, right there.
So, yeah, we can't save that for the to be continued, but now we can end it now. We'll continue this another time.
Okay, man. All right, we're going to flip it over to some questions now, okay? And I know Ray's got some crazy stuff for me. He always does, man. He's got great questions, so I'm going to let you swing the first one at us.
Okay, I got 4 again.
Oh, 4, okay.
Okay, like I did last time.
Yep.
Which one do I want to do first? Okay, I'll do this one first.
Okay.
Now, we've never talked about this before, but you don't come across somebody that listens to podcasts. I don't think you listen to like Joe Rogan.
Yeah, not very often.
I didn't think so. Yeah. Okay, but I say all that to say this: if you had like more time where you can like listen to podcasts, Now I'm talking famous people, like maybe former athletes, former actors, former anything. If you could pick somebody where you could say, I wish this guy or this lady had a podcast, because I would listen to them. Yeah. Anybody. Who would you want to have a podcast that you would listen to?
Man, Ray Asensio.
Come on.
Yeah, okay.
Come on.
We got one. I know. We got
it like 3 times.
I'm just messing with you, man. Okay, that's a great one. I think it would probably be Mike Tirico. Sportscaster.
Okay. He doesn't have one?
I don't know if he does. I don't know. Maybe he does, but I don't know. But I just like
seems like all them media people. Seems like they would all have podcasts.
He probably does. Maybe I need to look this up. But like that, maybe because I don't listen to podcasts, I don't know. But like, I don't know, when he talks, I want to listen. I don't care what he's talking about, what sport it is, whatever. Like, I just want to listen, right?
Yeah.
So I think Mike Tirico would be a good one for me.
Okay, for me, I'm torn between two different podcasts.
Okay.
I think it would be cool if Magic Johnson and Isaiah had a podcast together. Because they were best friends when they played, and they rekindled their friendship.
Yeah.
So Magic and Isaiah, I would love to see them have their own podcast. And if the other guy I'm gonna go with, if he's not alive anymore, but if he was still alive, I think Bobby the Brain Heenan would have the best stories of any podcast.
No doubt.
Man. I wish so those would be my picks.
No doubt. Okay. All right. Growing up in Flint Town, what was your spot to go eat? Where was your spot?
John's Restaurant.
Okay.
In my neighborhood.
Okay. All right. So that was on Davison Road, right?
Davison and Dexter. John's Restaurant.
Why was that your spot?
Well, you could take if you had a date, it's a classy enough place to take a date. You could have like a family gathering there, get-togethers. Their Stromboli and cheese sticks, man, were so good. They had a jukebox there. They had all those pretty Italian waitresses there. Uh-huh. We had it all there.
All right. Okay. All right. I know. I miss John's, man.
I do too, man.
Okay.
I do too. So
All right.
John's Restaurant. That was easy.
That was easy. That was easy. I threw softballs at you today. All
Okay.
right. What else you got?
Okay. Let me see. Off the top of your dome,
Yep.
I want you to name 5. But there could be less, though. So if there's not 5, if there's less, just name like 3, 4, 2, whatever.
Yeah.
Just off the top of your dome, tell me 5 states that you have not been to yet.
Oh, Alaska for sure. Definitely want to go there, and Hawaii. Right. Those two.
What about on the mainland?
On the mainland?
Ain't nobody
Yep.
been to them. Excuse me.
Yeah, I
Ain't
got
nobody
you.
been
All
to them
good.
states.
All good. You drop it up, Bobby. Drop it
I'm
up.
sorry,
Now,
I'm sorry.
we're good, man. We're good. Okay. So, all right. So 3 more on the mainland that I haven't been to that I need to go to. Okay. Let's see here. I want to go to Idaho. All right. I heard it's gorgeous out there. I want to do Idaho, which I haven't been.
Colston Loveland, our tight end, man. Our true freshman tight end. Colston Loveland, the pride of Gooding, Ohio. Or
Idaho, baby.
Gooding, Idaho.
Okay.
Okay, go ahead. I'm sorry.
No, you're good, man. You're good. And then let's see. You know what? I haven't been to the Carolinas. And
Really?
I got a friend in South Carolina I need to go see. Yep. And I haven't been to North Carolina or South Carolina, so I think I'd throw those in there too. So
Okay.
those will be my ones.
Okay.
That's a good question.
South Carolina is a beautiful state.
It is. It really is.
North Carolina made me think of George Miller again because he played at Campbell University and he does color commentary for their basketball team now.
Yeah.
So it made me think of him, North Carolina. Okay, that's cool.
All right, cool, man. All right, so my next one for you.
Okay.
All right. And I'm going easy today just because I'm trying to learn more about you. Give me your dream car. What's the car you would want to roll in?
Not a big car guy.
Not a big car guy.
No,
Okay.
I'm not a big car guy.
Okay.
Let me see, but if I could just like buy a car now, any car in the world that I want,
Yep.
I would drive like a 2023 Cadillac, man.
Okay.
I want me a Cadillac.
Nice. All right, get you a caddy. Okay.
Caddy, man. Probably better be a caddy.
All right. All right, hit me with another.
Okay, I got 2 more here. Okay, this is a good one here. This will be interesting. Now, your whole life, Randy, you haven't been a drinker. You're a non-drinker, which is a cool thing. That doesn't mean you've never drank in your life, though.
Right.
Or had a little sip of this here, or
Occasionally.
maybe a toast at a wedding or something.
Right.
Like hell, I'll do a shot. Well, do you remember anything that you've ever drank?
Yeah, I mean.
Can you name
all
a
right.
few drinks?
I'll tell you this: the most I've ever drank in one sitting. Like you said, I've had a shot at a wedding or a funeral or something like that. But like, the most I ever drank at one time. This is honest to God truth. I'm like 14 years old, and I'm gonna put you on blast here. Okay, no, not you, not you. I'm gonna put this guy on blast.
Okay.
I don't mean to, but I think we're old enough now where their parents will get over it. I was 14 years old in Kay Gitch's basement, and we were drinking some warm ass Bud. I mean, straight up Bud Heavy, warm Bud Heavy down there. I don't know if he remembers this, but we were down there. Parents must have been out of town or something. We were in this basement, and I think I had like a beer and a half. Like that. That's it, right? But I'm 14, right? And
Yeah.
that's the one that sticks in my head. And I don't know, Kay Gitch, if you remember that, but I'm sure your brother was home, your parents were gone, we were down there, So that's also the place too. I hung out in Kay Gitch's basement a lot, apparently. But I also remember watching the press conference down there when Magic announced he had AIDS.
Oh.
That's just so weird. This is memories of K. Gitch's basement right there. But those are two I got right there. But yeah.
Some Bud Heavy, you called it, huh?
Bud Heavy, man. The OG Buds. I mean, like, straight up NASCAR looking kids. You know what I mean? Like, just old school, blah. You know what I mean?
Is that what it was called? Bud Heavy?
I don't know. No, that's just what people call it if it ain't Bud Light. You know what I mean?
Oh, so you drink a Bud Light?
No, it was actually Budweiser.
Budweiser.
That's Bud
okay.
Heavy, yeah.
Not Budweiser Stadium.
No.
Okay, all right.
Don't get it confused,
Don't
man.
get it confused.
Look at our teasers. All right, man. Okay, one more for you. Your best athletic highlight. What highlight that you are playing a sport? It could be pickup, be straight up, playing football out in the yard or in an organized game. What's the one highlight of Ray Asensio you won't forget? Football, baseball, basketball, box, whatever it is, man. What's your biggest highlight that you're like you'll never forget doing?
Okay, I had back surgery in September of 2008, but 9 months before that, when I was in bad health. 9 months before that, it was December 19th, 2007. I bowled my only 300 sanctioned game. I bowled a 300 that day, and I wasn't going to bowl that day because I couldn't even tie my shoes. My wife had to tie my shoes for me, and she had to help me off of the couch.
You got a bad back, so you're coming in there like Isaiah in the
and
play.
I had told my guys that I'm not going to make it today to get a sub.
Yeah.
And then I ended up going to the gym that afternoon because I thought that I could still do some machine work. At that time, I was throwing up I was repping out 315 for like 7 or 8 reps.
Yeah.
I could bench close to 400 pounds back then. So on that day, with a effed up back, I benched 300 pounds and bowled a 300 in the same day, December 19th, 2007, with a bad back.
That's crazy.
A bad back.
That's awesome, man. That's a good memory.
Yep. And that was a sanctioned 300. That wasn't, open bowling and,
that was,
turn the lights out with them colored pins and all that. I'm talking about a sanctioned league at Galaxy Lanes. Phil Pearson interviewed me at a Flint Journal. Nice. Phil Pearson.
All right, there you go. Yep. No bumpers on them lanes. That was straight up
No
Ray.
bumpers, man. Hell no.
That's a good memory, man. That's a good memory. All right.
Good question.
Yeah, all right, cool.
So I got one more here.
Okay, one more.
This is going to be good.
Okay.
I have a feeling you're going to let me down on this one, but that's okay. House party or Boys in the Hood?
Oh, Boys in the Hood till the end, man. Why? How was that letting you down, man?
Go ahead, finish.
All right,
just
now
finish.
listen. House party. Gotta love some kid play with that go Washington D.C. sound, right? And they won't make you want to dance, but man, Boys in the Hood is where it's at. I mean, that's next level stuff, right? First of all, you got a story that needed to be told, and you got Ice Cube holding it down, acting. I mean, come on, man. That was the best. That was the best. I mean, House Party could come and go. There'd be 12 of those. There's only going to be
I'm talking about the original House Party, the first one, the best one.
I know what you're
saying.
saying.
The other ones were whack. The Pajama Jammy Jam.
Yeah, I
the
feel
other
you
ones
on that.
were whack.
I feel you on that. And I got respect for those fun movies, but man, I'm all about that serious, man. I'm all about that serious, man. You got to make me feel something and tell me a story that matters. And that story mattered, man. I love that. I mean, you can't mess with that. You can't mess with Boys in the Hood. Ricky got shot, man. Come on, where?
Boys in the Hood was a good movie and all that, man. But that wouldn't be in my top 5 of early '90s gangster movies. That ain't even in my top 5.
Okay.
Let me answer this my way. And look, I respect your answer, man. You don't have to agree with me on everything. I knew you were going to say Boys in the Hood.
Oh, absolutely.
And here's what's shocking about that. You're always singing and dancing in my car. Okay, when Billy Joel is on, you're dancing. You got the window down, and Billy Joel, Madonna, Katy Perry, Taylor Swift. The OJs come on, you're dancing. The Manhattans, Run DMC, In Too Deep. I mean, you're all ready for the world comes on. You're always dancing, and you're always singing and shit. But look, man, Now, I'm going to stand by what I'm about to say about
Okay.
Boys in the Hood, okay? I'm going to stand by it. It was a great movie.
Okay.
I'm not suggesting that it ain't a great movie. I'm not saying that at all. It's a great movie. Now, when we was talking about gangsters, we were talking about Don Cheadle when he was Rocket.
Yeah.
Okay? Now, we're talking acting skills.
Okay.
Not who they are personally. Okay, let's say we don't know that O'Shea Jackson's a rapper. We don't know. We just saw him in Boys in the Hood, and that was it.
Sure.
Don Cheadle, let's say we only seen him in colors as Rocket, and that's it. Don't know who he is other than that. Don Cheadle as Rocket is 1,000 times more believable as a gangster than Ice Cube is. Now, hold on. No, don't get that twisted now. If Ice Cube called me on the phone and said he was going to do something when he sees me, I would believe him.
Right, but as
because I know he's a real deal, you know, when it comes to shooting people and all that. But if Ice Cube wanted to just fight me, I'd knock him on his ass.
You think so?
I'd knock. He can't fight. When he in his fight scenes in his movies, he looks so sloppy. And I'm talking about fighting. We're talking about fighting. We ain't talking about Uzis and shooting up people.
Okay.
I'm talking about fighting. I will knock him on his ass. Okay? I'll knock him on his ass.
Okay.
Just straight Marcus of Queensberry rules. Fighting. Feet planted and fighting. I would not be scared of him. Now, if he was saying that he was going to F me up when he see me, I would be afraid of that because I know he would. And I know he knows way more people, and I would respect that about him.
Okay.
He ain't no, look, man, Boys in the Hood, he ain't no better gangster than Nino Brown. He ain't better than Rocket. He sure as hell ain't more believable than O-Dog was.
Okay. Now,
okay.
All right, I feel you on that, but you hit me with Kid or Play or Ice Cube, all right? And now, I mean, if you want to question, you know, if he can act like a gangster better than somebody else, I get that. But you hit me with Kid and Play.
Yeah, but you relate more to Kid and Play because they're fun-loving, they can dance, they sing, everybody loves them, they light up a room. You relate to them.
But you don't think I don't go gangster too? Because I mean, I'm not gangster. Trust me on this, right? But I love Muscle Ice Cube, man, and we're gonna talk about that later, but not today. But we'll get into our best MCs at some point. But you kidding me?
Look, I had the Death Certificate album. I had the Predator album.
Me too.
Okay, America's Most Wanted. Okay, the Lynch Mob. I was a fan of the Lynch Mob. Loved all that stuff, man. Lethal Injection was like one of my favorite albums. I love Jerry Curl, Ice Cube, and NWA.
Yeah.
Revolutionaries. But Rocket is more believable than Doughboy was as far as gangsters go.
I'm not going to argue the acting skills. Don Cheadle's a better actor than Ice Cube, without a doubt.
I would be afraid of Ice Cube if he threatened my life.
No doubt.
Okay? It's Crenshaw Boulevard. I would be afraid if he threatened my life. But if that guy wanted to fight me, just fight and that's it, and we're going to squash it afterwards, I'll kill Ice Cube. I'll knock the Republican right out of his ass.
I'm not trying to fight him, man. I just wanted to write me a good rhyme or two, man.
I'm all caught up in my feelings, man. I can't believe you didn't pick House Party. Robin Harris, one of the greatest lines of all time. Boy, you better not ever commit no murder. I ain't gonna have no problem fighting you, boy. Hey, follow the drip. That Jerry Curl you got there, boy. What about Play? You gotta appreciate this. This is a Randy Scott line. You gotta appreciate this. Hey, Sherane, hey, come on. Just come down here. We're going to get Kid out of jail. And we shooting over the Burger King afterwards.
Okay, hold on.
Come on, man. Guys, give a shout out to Burger King down there.
You want to talk about lines, man. You want to talk about lines. How about Ice Cube to Regina King? Hoes got to eat too. Wait, come on, man. And what if God was a bitch, right? Come on, man. Some of the best conversations ever were in Boys in the Hood. And don't let me drop some Furious Styles on you, right? All right, don't let me drop some Lawrence Fishburne on you, right?
Professor Phipps.
Yeah, you know what I'm talking about, right? Because he was dropping knowledge down there on them boys, man. That was some great stuff. John Singleton, man. I'm telling you.
Okay. If you had to fist fight one of these two guys tonight, a fist fight, would you fight Ice Cube or Tyrese Fowler? Who you fight? I'm talking about if they both wanted to rip your head off.
Okay, first of all,
if they wanted to annihilate you in front of everybody.
All right, first of all, I'm losing both those fights. Okay, I'm losing both those fights, but I'd definitely fight Ice Cube first.
Thank you for not calling me a liar. Thank you.
But I'm going down in both of them. I don't care, Ram. I'm out on both of them.
It sounds like I'm dissing Ice Cube. I'm not, man. Yeah. I'm just saying that. I think the reason why I got upset because I always got to defend Rocket like when we're talking about like gangster actors, man. I don't know. I'm kind of, it's more like a Don Cheadle personal thing for me, man. Rocket. That is the most believable gangster actor I've ever seen in my life.
Okay.
People can have Tony Montana, all that Scarface shit. I don't, God, I'm sorry.
No, you're all right, dude. We're talking about gangsters, man. You're going to drop a cuss bomb or two.
Listen, man, if Cube threatened my life, I'd be afraid of him. I'd be like, oh shit. I'd be in a witness protection program. I ain't stupid now. Because I'm not a gangster. I'm not a gang person. You know what I'm saying? If Ice Cube wanted to fight me, get out of here, man. Get the fuck out of here.
All right. Okay, listen. All right, that's another thing you can put in your comments, man. Your best gangster actors of all time, right? Who played the best gangster, right? Because I'm going back.
Ain't nobody gonna say Rocket.
No, Rocket Don Cheadle is one of my favorite actors. You know this. We talked about this in one of our earlier podcasts. But how about dude, and I'm going way back on this one. Dude, The Principal. You remember the movie The Principal?
Yeah, with Louis Gossett Jr. and
the guy,
Jim Belushi. Yeah, yeah.
And this is before.
Oh yeah, no,
dude, the bad guy in that. I don't even know his name. The bad guy in that.
Victor Duncan,
man.
Duncan.
I'm telling you, I was scared of that dude. Like, look, there was no guns in that movie. He had like a switchblade or something. But like, that dude was scary.
But he's believable.
I know.
He's believable. That's exactly what I'm talking about.
I thought he was gonna kill the principal. I was scared of that dude.
He beat the shit out of Louis Gossett Jr. Remember he was wearing that tight-ass Walter Payton shirt?
Yeah, dude, he had that.
He said, you want to play football, boy?
Wasn't it cut off? Did he have the mesh cut off?
Yeah, Victor Duncan. That's a good one, man.
Oh, my God, dude.
Oh, God.
All right, okay. We got the principal. We got Rocket. We got we
Dog.
We got Doughboy.
Nino Brown.
Dog.
Doughboy. Yeah, man.
Whoever else you can think of, man. But don't drop Wesley Snipes. He don't fit in there. Okay, no, just kidding. You could drop him, too. I'm just messing that way. I knew that would get you. No, we're not starting down that road.
Yeah, but see, he knows the martial arts, though. That's somebody I wouldn't toy with. I wouldn't get cute with Snipes. Man, I was hoping you'd pick House Party.
I can't pick House Party, man. But I do love Ain't Gonna Hurt Nobody. But I can't do that foot move. I try to do the foot. I got my shorts on because I just hoop, but I try to do that foot move. You know, that kid play foot. I can't.
Yes, the step thing.
I got zero coordination, right? You know this, right? But Ain't Gonna Hurt Nobody. That's my jam right there.
Okay. Now, when they was doing that foot thing, it was that was Full Force's song, Ain't My Type of Hype. That was my Full Force.
Full Force.
I'd be scared of them.
Oh, dude, those guys are.
Dude, I've never in my life seen somebody that looks like that. Okay, look, benching 585, squatting 800. They had the curls back then, and they look mean as hell. But man, when they sing,
I know
they got the most beautiful voices ever.
They're on my favorite Lisa jam, right? Yeah. All cried out. That dude comes in all alone on a Sunday, but like what? They're all smooth, man. It's like.
Do you remember their names? Full Force?
I have no idea. I just remember they were on that song. They were in House Party. I don't know their first names. But when you saw them, you're like a crew of big buff dudes singing R&B jams.
Well, let me see. Paul Anthony, his name was Stab on a House Party. He was the one that said, "Man, I'll get ready to wax that ass. All I do is think of this fool kid." His name was Stab, Paul Anthony. The other guy, the big guy with the black tank top, black pants, Be Fine. It was Be Fine. B-Fine. Be Fine. And then the other guy, kick your fucking ass. That's a Weasel.
Weasel.
Yeah, that was Weasel. That's Full Force.
But somehow there's more.
You picking Boys in the Hood over all that, man?
I'm picking Boys in the Hood over there all day, man. All day long, man.
All right, man. Okay.
All right, man.
See why I saved that one for last? Because I knew it was going to be like this.
That was good, man. That was good. All right, man. We probably got to move to some shout-outs, huh? All right, hit it up, Ray. Shout me out, man. Who we got? We're each going to do one today. Okay. We decided to change up the format a little bit. We're each going to do a shout-out.
Okay. I'm gonna give a little shout-out to one of my classmates in high school. He didn't play any sports or anything, but you know how, like, when you were in school, you had, like, certain friends that you were close to all 4 years, but you only seen them in school. Mm-hmm. Okay, this is one of the guys for me. His name is D'Antonio. Back in the day, his name was Powell, D'Antonio Powell. He changed it to Bailey over the years. But D'Antonio, I got a couple funny stories about him, man.
Okay.
Let me see. this was our sophomore year. Do you remember Mrs. Pearson down in the English? Remember the Englishes were down the base? She was
I had Ehrlich down there, so I don't know.
Okay, she was like kitty corner from Ehrlich.
Okay.
But anyway, Mrs. Sally Pearson, we were in that class. D'Antonio was sitting like right in the middle of the class, and this one dude, I'm not gonna mention his name because he's no longer with us, man. I wouldn't mention his name anyway. But anyways, big dude, real big, built like let me see, who's he? He built like I'll say like Jamar Calvin probably. He's big like that, like a big hefty like strong kid. Just punking D'Antonio, and D'Antonio wasn't saying nothing back. So that could be one of two things. D'Antonio's here thinking, man, I don't care what he said. I ain't worried about him. Or he's scared of him. One of the two. So he's just clowning D'Antonio talking about what he's going to do to him, this, and this. D'Antonio said nothing. When that bell rang, when the bell rang, he got up and he walked out of the classroom, and I'm like, damn. But when he got out of the classroom, he stopped and he turned around. He waited for him to come out. This is a big dude. I thought.
Yeah.
I ain't gonna lie to you. No, we've talked about this before, me and him. I thought he was gonna get his ass whooped.
Yeah.
Big boy went out there. They got tangled up real quickly. D'Antonio had him in a front face lock, and they were both like on the ground on their stomachs, and he had him in leverage hold and wouldn't let go. He said, we're going to stay right here until somebody breaks us up. And Big Boy was trying to get out. He couldn't get out of it. He had him in a leverage hold. Front face lock the hell out of this dude.
Yeah.
So that was one story I had about D'Antonio. The second one, let me see. I was like in between the first and second floor. I went up the first flight of steps, and I was just looking out the windows there because my dad was picking me up.
Yeah.
This was, I want to say, 11th grade. My car was down for like a week or so or whatever, or a couple of days. So my dad was picking me up. So I'm just sitting, just looking out the window, waiting for my dad. I see these four dudes out there yelling. Now they're looking in my direction. I knew they weren't talking to me, but they were looking in my direction. I'm like, I wonder who they're directing that at. And I see D'Antonio coming from the top flight of steps. He's walking down. He said, they talking to me, man. He said, I'll be right back. Hey, man, you need me to go down there with you? Nah, man, I'll be all right. Okay. There's four of them now. Uh-huh. All four of them talking mad noise. D'Antonio went down there, and I'm still looking out the window. I ain't even looking for my dad no more. I'm looking at this shit now. Two of the guys that was barking totally backed up and didn't do nothing.
Gone, yep.
But the other two guys fired on D'Antonio, and he laid them both down. He walks away, and as he's walking away, those other two guys that ran, they start yelling again. If you come back, this, and this. Man, shut your ass up.
Right.
So I'm looking out the window, and then I hear the door behind me, and D'Antonio's walking up the steps. He's tucking in his shirt. He had on one of those like early 90s, like Fresh Prince button-up shirts. Like the New Jack Swing shirts that we used to wear.
Real colorful.
A little colorful one,
Yep.
He come walking up the steps. He had a brush, he had a hairbrush, one of them hard brushes, brushing his hair, and he's tucking his shirt in.
Get his waves
looking at him.
good.
And then he walks behind me. He's going up another step. He said, your dad's out there.
Just like that. Your dad's out there.
That's what he said. And I didn't say anything. I did one of these, Randy. I'm just looking outside. I'm looking at them. And then after he said that, I just kind of like.
What did you just do?
What the hell was that all about? That's my D'Antonio story. My big shout out D'Antonio Bailey.
It sounds like he might need to make your Mount Rushmore, make some room on there for him.
I would put him on like a pound for pound list. He falls in the category tougher than he looks.
Okay, gotcha. All right, so I was gonna do some shout outs today. You know what I gotta do? Since we started talking about this earlier, man, I want to shout out. We talked about Mr. Redmond, all that. I just want to shout out all those people that when we were kids just gave us opportunities. You know what I mean? Like open up those gyms for us, threw out the ball, let us play. You know what I mean? All that kind of stuff, right? Or you talked about one of your little league coaches earlier. You know what I mean? Or those guys that would show up and help you play. Teach you basketball, teach you how to play baseball, or just be there and so you could play. You know what I mean? Like that kind of stuff went a long way. And sometimes we needed it. Sometimes we organized it ourselves, right? But or how about the parents, right? Sometimes the parents, right? Your dad let you guys ball in your driveway from sun up to sun down. You know what I mean? We had Steve Melfi across the street, man. He let us play wiffle ball, and let us use his roof as a home run, right? Like that was what he didn't care if the ball was bouncing off his house, hitting his siding. He was like, oh man, you didn't hit that home run. You got to hit it on the roof. There's things like that, right? And it's all the people that let us do that, let us be who we were and figure it out, right? Give us safe places to be, and that kind of stuff, man. I just want to shout out for the people who are still doing that and the people that did that for us, because there's so many of them out there.
When you're a kid and in your teenage years, when you got all those people doing that for you, you kind of get caught up in the moment. You're having a good time. You're with your friends and all that. But as far as like the people that you just named there, you don't appreciate that until you're older.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? Like a time like now. Like I remember everybody that did something nice for me, man. Like you said, opened up them gyms, let us play at their house, let us go swimming in their swimming pool.
Yes.
You appreciate that when you're older. So I totally agree with that.
Man, and that's a cool thing. So I just want to make sure we shout out to that, man.
Yeah,
okay.
Of course.
All right, listen, we started a little Twitter page. We're gonna put the episode on that. We got our YouTube page, Down with Flint Town. Subscribe to that. Get on there. Put your comments in there, man. Keep it coming. We're gonna get this episode out, and it's hopefully, man, everybody's good. We're gonna try to start dropping them more often now, right? And I hope you like the teasers too. We're dropping the teasers every now and then. They're not really related to the show, but they're just something stupid, random show up. We do it. You know what I mean? Just kind of giving you guys a little nostalgia, a little throwback, and maybe on the next one, me and Ray will learn how to do that kid and play dance, right? It would take me 6 months, and I'd probably break my hip trying to learn how to do that.
We'd have to stretch out for like an hour before we do that, because we'll pull something.
I couldn't do it when I was in my best shape. I got no coordination. You know this, right?
Now, I'll say this, though. For some added attraction, though, anybody who, the Boys in the Hood and house party thing we had, throw a comment on there. Just simply put Boys in the Hood or put house party. And I promise I'm not going to jump on nobody if they say Boys in the Hood. It's just your opinion. Yeah, I want to see who knows what they're talking about here.
There you go, right there.
House party.
Yeah, and don't worry, he only yells at me, so it's all good. It's all good. All right, man. Keep those comments coming. Keep the subscriptions coming. All that stuff, man. We're going to keep building this and see where we go. And next week, hopefully, we'll have the big table back. I got that small table so we can be close to each other. Okay, that's too much. That's too much. All right, y'all. Thanks for watching, everybody. All right. Hoop.